this one goes on to play either Cleveland or Brooklyn, and we have that one coming up right after this one. I love the format in this Summer League, JB, where during the preliminary round they actually assign points. If you win a quarter, you get a point.
Isn't that what they do in the D-League?
Yeah, and that's how they assign the seeding outside of wins and losses. Nice dime for the dunk by Walters.
Tarczewski getting it done. It's the Wiz coming back after being down 7. They lead by 1.
And welcome back, everyone, to Las Vegas. 3-ball paying big dividends for the Wizards, JB.
Yeah, White's knocked down a couple from the top. Good looking stroke. Walters with a dribble up. You don't stop the ball. He makes you pay. And then House hit one from the corner. They're 6 out of 12 of the Washington Wizards from downtown.
And when you look at the big team, the roster guys for the Wizards, you have to have 3-ball shooters around a guy like John Wall, right, who is going to attract a lot of attention on driving kicks, right?
Well, Beal is the guy that can shoot the 3. Porter, not really much of a 3-point shooter. So, yeah, they're looking for guys that can stretch that floor and create some more space for John Wall so he can do what he does best, put it on the deck and get to the rim and use that superior quickness. Oh, he had him open.
Deflected it right to Grant.
Got to be a bounce pass.
And Grant called his own number and knocks it down.
Grant had some great moments last year, I thought, for New York. Never really solidified himself in the rotation, but when he got an opportunity, he's active.
Yeah, speaking of Pete Myers, the assistant coach in charge of the Summer League edition of the Bulls, he really likes what Grant has done so far in Summer League. Oubre fouled, much to the disbelief of Portis and Felicio. But getting back to Grant, you know, Myers was saying, we all know that New York can be a difficult place to play, not just in a basketball sense, but in a social sense. And saying that Grant has the opportunity to really grow in Chicago and make a contribution this coming season. 2.5 to go now in the first half. Talked about Oubre at the top of the show for the Wizards. He's just 1 of 6 from the field, JB, with 1 assist and 4 points.
Yeah, he's really struggling to find what his game is. You know, didn't play a whole lot at Kansas, right? Came out after 1 year. It was a little bit surprising, but obviously another guy that has a lot of potential. But is he a 3? Is he a 2? Is he a 3-point shooter?
Well, he could do better by helping himself by making layups.
And I think it's just the understanding of the game as Grant can't get his drive to go. And it comes with playing. You know, that's why I don't like to see kids come out early that aren't quite ready to play. Right? I mean, are you better suited to come to the NBA and sit and watch for a 1.5 to 2 years, or are you better off playing a sophomore year in college? As you see Walters again, another nice dribble penetration to find Oubre.
Well, you know, I was speaking with Mitch Kupchak, the general manager of the Lakers, as Oubre goes to the free throw line for 2. Oubre going into his 2nd year, and Kupchak talked about the exponential improvement that you make from your 1st to your 2nd year. He was saying it in the context of D'Angelo Russell, his point guard, but you would think the same would go for Oubre. What do you remember about going into your 2nd year? What was different?
The difference between those, Russell got a chance to play. Oubre is not broken into a rotation. So, you know, that's the question, is that is he better off by sitting there and watching last year, playing in the NBA, being a professional athlete, or would he be better off playing at Kansas and getting a full season in of competition? You know, I can't really answer the question. I don't know. But, yeah, if you get an opportunity to play, certainly, then that next year, you understand so much more about the game, what you need to work on, what you know you struggled with, what the areas are that you have to get better at. But when you don't play the whole season and someone's just telling you that, it's a little different. I got to feel it. Right. If I can't go left and I'm in an NBA game and I know I can't do it and they keep stopping me, that's different than someone saying, hey, you got to get better going to your left.
Take a look at the numbers on Oubre tonight. 1 of 7, albeit he has knocked down 3 of his 4 foul shots.
It's just, you know, finding what he does best. And He's a standstill three-point shooter, not bad. But you got to find a way to use that athleticism, get to the rim. Can you make some plays for others?
Looking to become a little bit more assertive during the Summer League. Talked yesterday about the need to improve, as you mentioned, his three-point shooting. But a work in progress when you look at a guy that's only 20 years old.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that everybody forgets is these guys are 19, 20, 21 years old. Some guys aren't even fully physically matured, so there's certainly a much larger ceiling. But at the same time, I don't know. What do you think? You think he'd be better off playing another year in college or sitting on an NBA bench and not really playing all season long?
I'll tell you what, I watched Norman Powell earlier. He was a 4-year guy at UCLA.
How good did he play last year?
Josh Richardson before that with the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the success of guys that have stayed in school for 3 or 4 years, come out and make an immediate impact. Norman Powell almost, you could say he won Game 7 for the Raptors against the Pacers during the playoffs.
Yeah,
he had a huge
great
impact. And Richardson had great moments for the Heat.
Right, but the feeling is that if you are a 3rd or 4th year guy in college, that something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, why are they still there? They should be in the NBA.
Strange, yeah.
Denzel Valentine, I thought he did awfully well. We'll see what he does, but I think he's ready to play now.
Here he is on cue. Valentine, one of many seniors, JB, 4-year guys that were taken in the draft this year.
Oh, there was a lot this year, yeah.
There were quite a few.
Well, it hasn't been in years past. There's no question. That GMs are drafting on potential.
So you think about him and Buddy Hield, who was a high draft pick.
Oh, Eddie.
And that's the end of the first half of play. Jarrell Eddie shows you why he's got a roster spot heading to training camp for the Washington Wizards. The Bulls, though, lead it by 5, 43-38. The winner of this one will play either Brooklyn or Cleveland. Our next game following this one. And Valentine is averaging about 12 a game in Summer League.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to center court. To help us celebrate Military Appreciation Night this evening, it is our honor and privilege.
Let's go to Cassidy.
I'm here with assistant coach Randy Brown and Bobby Portis once again leading the way. What has stood out to you about his summer league and his development from last year?
Well, the important thing for Bobby is the most important thing. He stayed in Chicago during the summer and worked with our coaches. He's showing improvement every single day by coming into the gym. We can't get him out of the gym, and now it's starting showing our games a little bit.
You're a former Bull.
Yeah.
Bulls assistant.
Yes.
How do you envision the identity of this team with the departures, the new addition, second year under Fred Hoiberg?
You know what? I told Coach Hoiberg, I think it's a great problem to have. Anytime you add a guy like Dwayne Wade to your roster, you command an instant respect, and that's what we'll get. With he and Rondo bringing the rings and the championship to our group, I told Dwayne Wade today, our group is going to follow his lead for sure.
Very cool. Thanks.
All right, thank
Good
you.
luck in the second half. Back to you, Mark.
Oh, that's something that's making Cassidy smile, right, JB? An unabashed Bulls girl and fan, and Bobby Portis making the Bulls Nation very happy here. Back with more at halftime right after this. And welcome back, everyone, to the Samsung NBA Summer League from Las Vegas, Nevada, the Thomas and Mack Arena. 5-point ball game at halftime. Bulls with the lead. Sidney Lowe standing by with Cassidy Hubbard.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk about Kelly Oubre being the focus of this summer league for your team. He's 1 of 7 from the floor so far. What does he have to focus on to really get some more minutes in the rotation next season?
Well, I think you can't worry about missing shots. That's number one. You can help the team in other ways, and I think he has the ability to help the team defensively, getting deflections, then getting out and running, getting some easy baskets. I think that's where he's going to make his mark, is being able to defend and get out and make easy baskets. Then if the 3-shot is there, take it if it's open. But don't focus on just scoring. Focus on all aspects of the game.
You're joining Scott Brooks' staff. What has he told you here in the stands about the focus he wants in this summer league launching into the season?
Well, he just talked about the guys playing hard and playing together and playing smart. We know that's if you do those 3 things, you're always going to give yourself a chance to win. So, the most aggressive team normally wins, and so we need to be a little more aggressive in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Mark, back to you.
All right, Scotty Brooks soon to take over when training camp's open as the new man on the sidelines replacing Randy Whitman. Mark Jones courtside along with John Berry. Cassidy Hubbard going to join us again in just a moment. JB, this is a team, the Wizards, that during last year's regular season did not shoot the three ball very well, but here today, albeit different cast of players, they've shown an ability to make a lot of them.
Well, Kelly Oubre has not gotten into that parade yet. He's 0 for 2, but yes, they are shooting the ball well. A team that was 500 last year, the Wizards, a couple games out of the 8th spot. White from Iowa has knocked down a couple early. Walters had a nice dribble up. Nobody guards him. Go ahead and take it. And then this guy here out of A&M. I really think that this guy's got a chance to be great. House, they've been very impressed with him. I talked to Tony Brown, one of the assistant coach. They really like him. But the three-point ball has been good for Washington, but yet still trail by 5 to the Bulls, who have played pretty well here in the first half as well.
The Chicago Bulls, meanwhile, led by Bobby Portis's 10 points on 4 of 8 from the field to go along with 4 rebounds. And Portis got off to a quick start. Young man with an opportunity to carve out some minutes. Different looking front line for the Chicago Bulls. Gasol is gone. Noah's gone. Lopez comes over from New York in the Derrick Rose trade, and Taj Gibson still there.
I think they're going to need Portis to really stretch the floor. I mean, other than McDermott and Mirotic, you don't have any three-point shooting. And this guy more than capable of knock down his first 2 today. He's 2 for 2 from the three-point line. 31% last year, so I think he's got the capability to do that. Good athlete, can run the floor. I expect big things from Bobby Portis next year.
Yeah, you look at the look that's permanently etched across his face, and it really shows that, in the words of assistant coach Pete Myers, Bobby Portis has, as Grant makes the shot, he says Bobby Portis has, quote, an elite motor.
Yeah.
Not a good motor, an elite motor.
Well, he's excited to be here. I saw him just before the game, and he's really enjoying himself as White knocks down his 3rd 3 of the ball game.
Aaron White out of Iowa. Lead down to 4. Portis with that face-up jumper. Got a soft touch and got it to fall.
Very kind roll there for Portis, but nice face-up. And he can do that. I think he can use his athleticism to get by slower 4s.
Here's Oubre from downtown trying to get it on that three-point parade. A lot of contact and bodies crashing in the paint. Sarzuski and Cristiano Felicio crash to the court.
Portis showing the ability to knock down that 3. This time a little post up, turn and face from about 16 feet. You don't come out, he takes it, gets a very kind roll. But
you know, we watch offense here, JB, and Portis had to make a major adjustment defensively, the staff says, this year in Chicago, because they played the fastest 40 minutes in basketball, they call it in Arkansas, under Mike Anderson, and a little bit more of a different system, a much different system with the Bulls.
Sounds good to me. Maybe just do some gambling. Hey, we just want to get the ball back.
Well, Nolan Richardson called it 40 minutes of HELL.
Or you can call it Olay defense as well.
Mike Anderson calls it the fastest 40 minutes in basketball. So.
Your turn, my turn, Nolan Richardson. That was a classic line he used to say if they weren't playing any defense.
Des Wells with the pull-up J, nothing but bottom. Des Wells spent some of the year in the D-League last year.
Really, these starters for Chicago have done a nice job. They went to that second unit. That's when Washington made their run to get back in the game. This first 5 of the Bulls has been impressive.
Strong move by Oubre. Draws the foul on Portis. Says something to Portis, and those two bumping their gums a little bit right now.
Well, this is the athleticism that Oubre can show.